It's looking wonderful out there, Ravonna. Chaos, carnage, and all at my hand. Ravonna, my little siege tower, I thought we'd arrange the window cleaners to come on a Thursday. What have I told you? Get out of the... Huh? Otherwise, you'll find yourselves looking for a new round!
Yes, it's looking quite devastated already. Though the Avengers have yet to yield.
It's almost as though they've been given a new hope.
That can't be your kingship. Who in this Chronopolis would be so foolish as to dare plot against you?
Who indeed? No one, of course.
You know, you two really don't...
Just when you thought things couldn't get any strange around here, our city's heroes have come up with the most harebrained idea to defeat Kang this reporter has ever heard. It involves the help of Cosmo the space dog and the planet Nowhere, an ancient head of a giant space being on the other side of the galaxy. Tony Stark is convinced that there must be something on Nowhere able to bring down Kang's defenses. But to get it into Chronopolis, our heroes will need to find the shattered fragments of the Nexus, then have Doctor Strange stitch them back together. He needs some book full of magic mumbo-jumbo to help him. Why isn't he conjuring up a decent cup of joe, huh? New York is running out of coffee, people.
Nice place, Doc.
Oh, thank you. But it's Wang who has the eye for design.
You are too kind, sir. It's mostly Swedish flatback.
Wang, we need the Book of Vishanti. It may be our only hope against Kang.
Very good, sir.
Could you please fetch it for me?
There's nothing I would enjoy more, sir. But I have no idea where it is. You really should look after your things.
I do look after... Can you just help me find it?
Try in the mystical cabinet of Nisanti, behind the vacuum. If it's not in there, then try and think back to when you hid it.
By the all-seeing... Oh, wait! I do remember something. I set 5 runic locks to conceal it.
Lego Marvel Superheroes, part, I think 12, actually? I think I'm keeping track of these okay, but this is going to be the level Rune 2 maneuver, and we get to play almost exclusively as Doctor Strange. So if you've seen the movie and you like all the magic-y stuff that he can do, you get to do some of that inside of this game. So that's pretty cool. Excuse me there. I did like this level a lot. This ended up being one of my more favorite levels, I think, but it is a pretty long one. And I'm also so sick of getting attacked by... What is that thing called? A chest, a treasure chest. I'm so tired of getting attacked by them. I've been attacked by them in Demon Souls. I've been attacked by them in every single Dark Souls. I've been attacked by them in Divinity. I'm so tired of treasure chests attacking me. I thought I was safe from them in the Lego game, but no, apparently even they attack you in this game, so have fun with that one. But anyway, we have to find 5 runes, and the first one we found was very easy. It was just in that first room, and the second one's going to be over here kind of to the right side. So this is a somewhat lengthy level, I guess. I did cut out a ton of stuff that hopefully you won't notice too well. I did move out, and I sped up a lot of the things at the beginning, but this might take a little bit of time to complete. Just mostly, I think getting here actually doesn't take too long, but I don't know. Anyway, the point is, this level is pretty short if you know what to do, it's kind of long if you don't. And the 5 runes that we're going to have to do can actually be a little bit challenging. They're not too bad. I'll explain a little bit more as we get to some of the harder ones. I think I failed one of them on purpose just to show what happens, but we'll find out when I get there. So there's going to be this guy. I don't know who he is. He's like some kind of snowman or something. I don't know what that was about, but we need to free open that the window on the right side there so we can put out the fire here. Don't really know what he was, if he was like some kind of ice cream monster, but once the fireplace is extinguished, then we can jump onto the rune here. And you need to follow the lines on the square or whatever shape is there, whatever the pattern is, and you can't cross over the lines more than once. So you may want to kind of think ahead, how am I going to do this to where I make sure that I cross over them only once, and it's not really too bad. That big giant square on the top 3 runes that we see there, that big giant like square that's 2 squares put together, that one's a little bit weird, and so is the one kind of next to it, but again, it's not too bad, especially if you look at them right now and you can kind of think in your head, how am I going to get through them without crossing over the lines more than once, and you'll be fine when you actually get to them. We'll want to come upstairs here and open up a portal because we're going to want to get into the attic. And of course we have to do all of this to find some kind of a book that we think is underneath the super hidden lock. And the butler guy, whoever he was, told us it was behind a vacuum cleaner or something. But anyway, Doctor Strange is pretty sure it's behind the lock, so that's why we're trying to unlock this place. And then of course once you do all 5 of these runes, there's going to be a boss fight afterwards, and it was the second boss fight to glitch out on me inside of this game, so that's very nice. I had to restart the boss fight and actually redo the whole boss fight when I was recording this, but the boss fight is pretty straightforward. He's not that difficult, but he does take some time. I think for the most part of this video, you could probably say of the gameplay part, the boss is definitely about 1/3 of it, maybe a little more. So the boss is one of the more annoying things, but I don't know who the boss is. I think he's the guy at the end of the end of Doctor Strange movie. I think he's that one guy who like takes the power from the crippled person. I think is who that is. I don't know. I'm sure they'll bring him back in another Doctor Strange movie. But anyway, here is probably the most complicated rune. Once we open up this spot, we just got to follow the square, and the way you want to do this is just kind of follow the square. Square by square. So follow one square all the way around, do all 4 sides for that, and then do the other square all 4 sides, and then you'll be good to go. The first time I failed on purpose to show what happens when you cross over a line. The second time was actually because there's so many little tiny dots there that my controller decided to go to the wrong one. So you want to make sure you're aiming your analog stick in the correct direction too, just because sometimes if you don't move your stick in pretty much precisely the right direction, it'll go to the opposite little dot or an unintended dot, and that's just kind of annoying, you know. So I don't know, that's probably the hardest square to do though. This room was also a little bit weird. The time controllability that Doctor Strange has is what we're going to be using on this bookcase in a second, and this ability is just kind of odd sometimes. It doesn't always like to work, but anyway, what we need to do is use his time control to move the bookcase down if you want to. That'll reveal the spot behind it, which we'll need to get to in a second here, but first you're going to want to move it forward in time, so that way, or backwards in time, whatever way, so that way the ladder gets made, and then there's going to be that little spot to the left there, that little place that's glowing, and you're going to want to use Doctor Strange's magic on that. And there's also that golden wall that you can bust open on free play if you come back as somebody who has a laser. So anyway, magic this up, and this will open up a secret spot behind the bookcase. So now you're going to have to move it forward or backward in time, whatever direction it is. You're going to have to collapse it again, so this way you can actually get to that rune location. So this rune isn't too hard. I think I do this in one try. Maybe I don't. I guess we'll find out here. I don't know if you ever had to do this in grade school, but I remember in my grade school that there was like this little challenge they would give us, and it would have, I think, 9 squares or 9 dots, and we had to go over every single one of the dots without lifting your pencil or your pen or whatever we had, and you had to do it without like going over them, and the challenge was just, and you couldn't cross lines or anything, and it was just, you know, it's kind of a fun little puzzle that I think they gave us just to waste time. But anyway, these kind of dot tracing things that we do sort of remind me of that, and I was kind of wondering if we'd see that in this game, because there's a slider puzzle later in the game. There's a 3x3 slider puzzle So they really were happy. They were very puzzle happy in this game, which is a cool thing. I was kind of wondering if we'd see that with Doctor Strange, but I don't know if maybe somewhere hidden in the game for a secret thing you can get that is a thing somewhere. Probably not though, but that's just what these tracing dot patterns reminded me of. So anyway, here we are in one of the longer and more tedious kind of slider puzzle. This isn't really a slider puzzle, but kind of the more tedious, like, I don't know, push puzzles that we're going to have to be doing in this game. Basically, you need to move these cabinets onto the correctly colored locations that are in the middle. You get a little spot on the left side there, same with the one on the right side, to move the cabinet that needs to be moved out of the way so you can move the other ones into the correct spot. And we're going to have to do this with all 3 cabinets, and then do them on the left side and then also the right side. Once you do that, then I think we're going to be on our way to the boss fight, because I think we'll only have to do that last rune and then the boss fight is soon afterwards. This does take a little bit of time just because you have to sit here and actually push all of them around, so I'm not going to talk until the boss fight comes up, and that will be in a few minutes.
You actually have the book we're looking for, right, Doc? This almost feels like you tricked us into remodeling your place.
Nonsense. This is vital work. Although it does look a little nicer, I can't deny. The final rune is here. Well done, my friends.
Man, all this magic stuff is crazy.
That's it! Quickly, everyone! Ha! I told you I put the book somewhere safe!
Well done, sir.
God! Huh? Mortal!
You are too late, Strange. Kang shall soon bend the knee to the Great Dormammu, and Chronopolis will be absorbed by the Dark Dimension.
But how did you solve my magic locks to reach the book?
Locks? It was in the cabinet of Nisanti behind the vacuum.
Don't!
You really should take better care of your magical items.
Not so fast, Mordo. Let's take this fight to the Mirror Realm.
Pathetic, Strange. Your mirror defense will not hold me for long.
And here we are with Mordo. So with that little jump that we saw there, that was because I had to edit out all of the many minutes that I sat actually waiting for this second phase of this guy to activate. So as I said earlier in this video, this was the second boss fight for me to completely glitch out. And what's supposed to happen is when he gets, I think, about half, maybe a quarter health, lowered, then he turns into a little bit more of a ridiculous battle and sends some tougher enemies after us. But that phase didn't activate when I first did this, so luckily you get a checkpoint as soon as you come into this room with him, which means all you gotta do is reload the game. Basically, you just quit to desktop or something, quit to menu, whatever it is, and reload it, reload the save, come back in here, and you'll be right at the boss fight. You won't have to do all that Rune stuff all over again. So this right here is what's supposed to happen on the second phase. Once you get him down low enough, he's going to send these big, giant, ugly guys after you, and then he's also going to... well, he's going to... okay, no, he's not doing anything else. But anyway, first we need to destroy these basically clay face guys and kill both of them. I am pretty sure it's required to kill both of them. You're going to have to do this more than once, though. And if I had to make a recommendation, it would be that you should use Doctor Strange when it comes to flying around this place, but I kind of like the other Kung Fu janitor guy because he seems to be a little bit better at attacking. Now, then you're also going to need to pick someone who can start shooting, and you're going to want to shoot all of all of Mordo's different apparitions that are sitting there. So there's 4 right now, and there's kind of 3 in the middle, and then 1 to the right side, and you're just going to want to make sure that you shoot all of them so he gets off of these dang walls. And once that happens, you're basically just going to rinse and repeat the boss fight. That's pretty much all it is. You're going to do that until Mordo runs out of health, and because of that, there's not really a whole lot more for me to say. I'm going to stop narrating here, and I will see you in the next video.
We shall see about that, Mordo.
The earth and all its people belong to me.
You are going nowhere. You're beginning to get on my nerves. Take this.
We're beginning to get on your nerves? Seriously?
I have you now.
Give up. There's no way you can possibly win.
Perhaps you'd like some more friends to play with.
Not unless there's party games. And we all know there isn't gonna be any party games, so no.
Give up. There's no way you can possibly win.
It's over, Mordo. Give me the book.
Never!
Wow,
That got a bit, strange.
Funnily enough, not the weirdest thing I've seen this side of Manhattan. But that's another story.
Thank you again, my friend. What would I do without you?
It is my honor to serve. Now, go out there and kick some Kang backside. I will guard the sanctum from any further attacks.
Huh?